Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Barakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great Muslim that taught us truth. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect 144,000 men pushing the truth to wholehearted, sincere, across the four winds. It's the Akyakwab from the GMS Germany camp to the spirit power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Back with another lesson, and Lord willing is edifying. I got this book a while ago. It's the Dictionary of Biblical Archaeology. Okay, and this lesson is completely in the spirit. I woke up and I did my prayer. I got myself ready for the plantation, and then I was thinking about what I'm going to do a lesson on, and it just came down, and just hit me to get into this, and I opened it up and I looked at something, and one of the things that stood out to me was the Moabite stone. Okay, so this is all through it's all in the spirit, and Lord willing is edifying. Okay, so one thing I want to point out right now is Chemosh. Okay, Chemosh. This is on page 136. Okay, and you see that right there, that's called the Moabite stone. And within that, you see that Paleo Hebrew written upon it. All right. Okay. Drawing of the Mesha stela discovered at Deban in Transjordan and now in the Louvre, courtesy Carter, Jerusalem. So this Moabite stone right here that has the Paleo Hebrew written upon it is at that French museum. Okay, so what I wanted to bring into, right here was this right here. All right, Chemosh, the name of the national god of the Moabites, who are twice called people of Chemosh in Numbers 21:29, in Jeremiah 48:46. Solomon built a sanctuary to Chemosh on a hill east of Jerusalem in 1 Kings 11:7. This sanctuary, however, was later destroyed by Josiah. 2 Kings 23:13-14. In one passage, Chemosh is designated as the god of the Ammonites rather than the Moabites. Judges chapter 11, verse 24. Some have suggested that this was an oversight on the part of the historian, but it is also possible that since Moab and Ammon were kindred nations, descended from a common ancestor, Chemosh may well have been a deity common to both. Okay? Prior to 1868, the only significant information that scholars possessed on the identity of the character of Chemosh came from the Bible itself. However, on August 19th, 1868, the famous Moabite stone, which we were talking about right here, you see, the famous Moabite stone, see also the Mesha stela, was brought to a German missionary by Sheikh Zatam. The slab measured 1.2 centimeters, 3 feet 10 inches high, 6 meters, 2 feet wide, 0.6 meters wide, and 6.4 centimeters thick. It was rounded at the top and contained 34 lines of writing. The inscription referred to the triumph of Misha, the son of Chemosh, king of Moab, whose father reigned over Moab for 30 years. He told how he threw off the yoke of Israel and honored his god Chemosh by building a high place at Karho. The date of the Mesha stone is roughly fixed by the reference to Mesha, king of Moab, in 2 Kings chapter 3 and verse 4. On the basis of this information, the date of the stone is placed variously between 840 and 820 BC. In addition to historical importance of the stone, we are able to learn a great deal about how the Moabite viewed his god Chemosh. In the Mesha inscription, Chemosh is depicted as one who was angry, forsook his people, turned them over to their enemies, and then later delivered them. Meshach spoke of devoting people to destruction for the god Ashtar Shamash. At least one biblical reference seems to imply that on occasion human sacrifices were offered to this god. 2 Kings 3:27. It seems that human sacrifice is ascribed to some forms of Moabite worship only in biblical documents. There is no reference to such sacrifice in Moabite literature, nor have excavations produced physical proof of such a practice. The lack of evidence, however, does not negate the idea of human sacrifices, but perhaps indicates that it was practiced only on a limited scale. Okay? This book, which was made in, hold on, if I'm not mistaken, 1983, all right? 1983, the year I was born, okay? So this book is old as I am, and I'm 40 years old, okay? Which is nothing, but, you know, this book was written 40 years ago, okay? And they knew about the Moabite stone. They knew about Chemosh. So let's pull up some scriptures dealing with, you know, this deity and this king, all right? Let's go back. You see, the Bible has taught these scholars a lot of things about history. All right, through the Bible, they understand things about the nations. All right, so the Bible is a history book. It is the ultimate history book, which is still living. It's still telling the story right now. The prophecies of the scriptures are still being played out right before our eyes. Okay, and Esau knows the truth. Esau knows who these nations are. All right, Moab and Ammon are the children of are the Japanese Moabites. Ammonites, and Moabites are the Chinese. Okay, and this is an account of what language they spoke. All right, why would the Moabites write on their Mesha stele, on their triumph over Israel in Paleo Hebrew? Okay, why would Paleo Hebrew be on something that the Moabites, you know, and the Ammonites were not, which were not Israelites? Why would they be inscribing and detailing on their stones depictions of victories over Israel in Paleo Hebrew? Because that's the language that the whole world spoke at that time. Okay, Paleo Hebrew was the first language. All right, so now let's get a precept. All right, woe to thee, Moab! Thou art undone, O people of Chemosh. He hath given his sons that escaped and his daughters into captivity into Sihon, the king of the Amorites. Okay, so now when you look at this, sorrow awaits you, O people of Moab. You are finished, O worshippers of Chemosh. Let's look up that in the blue letter, Chemosh. Okay, Chemosh is Chemosh, Chemosh, subduer. Okay, the national deity of the Moabites and a god of the Ammonites, also identified with Baal Pur, Baal Zebub, Mars, and Saturn. Worship of this god was introduced into Jerusalem by Solomon and abolished by King Josiah of Judah. You see, so they know this through the scriptures. All right, these are proving one another right here. Okay, now this is the Biblical Archaeology Dictionary of Biblical Archaeology, And as you flip through here and you do diligence, you show diligence, you start to see a lot of the locations, a lot of the things that are spoken about in these scriptures, they actually existed. They're actually uh, physical places that the Edomites and these heathen nations have went and excavated, have detailed, have given great descriptions of. Okay, let's continue because it said what? That he was, it was a god of the Ammonites and Moabites. All right, so here the scriptures is saying this: Shamash, a national god of the Moabites and Ammonites, worshipped also at Jerusalem in the reign of Solomon, after his wives had turned aside his heart. And this happened. Okay, so King Solomon existed. And if you know who King Solomon was, which is Yahushua, if you look at the first chapter of Matthew, what does it say? All right, let's go to Matthew right quick. Book of Matthew. You know? All right. The generation, the book of the generation of Yahushua HaMashiach. All right. So the generation, the genealogy, the lineage, all right, the generation, the bloodline, okay, of Hamashiach Yahushua. Salakia. The son of David. Who was the son of David? Who was the son of David? King Solomon. The son of Abraham. Who was the son of Abraham? Abraham what? Had Ishmael and Isaac. Okay? And Isaac was the one who the Lord dealt with, which is Yahushua, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, Hamashiach, the son of David, King Solomon, the son of Abraham, Isaac. Okay? And Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. You see? So Abraham begat Isaac, okay, which was Yahushua, and Isaac begat Jacob. So through that bloodline, you see that the Israelites came. And this and from there it goes all the way down until Salakia. Okay, all the way down to the until Joseph. All right, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Hamashiach Yahushua, is also called Hamashiach. So who was born Yahushua, who was called Hamashiach. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. And from David unto the carrying away into Babylon are 14 generations. And from the carrying away into Babylon unto Hamashiach are 14 generations. You see, so that shows you how the Lord does things in order. All right? And this just shows you that King Solomon actually existed, which was Yahushua, if you can receive it. Okay? That was just a little side note there. All right, but this is talking about Chemosh. So we're going back to Chemosh. All right. I don't understand why it won't let me go back to the search. I go there again. Okay. This is First Kings chapter 11 and verse 32. But he shall have one tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, because they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments, as did David his father. Howbeit I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince all the days of his life for David my servant's sake, whom I choose, because he kept my commandments and my statutes. So the point I want to bring out is that Israel was worshiping these gods. All right, and we read. Hold on, let me go to the interlinear of Chemosh. Okay, Ashtoreth. All right, Ashtoreth, star, the principal female deity of the Phoenicians, worshipped in war and fertility. Also, Ishtar of Assyria and Astarta, yeah, by the Greeks and Romans. You see, so there you see that these gods and these deities have been worshipped through each kingdom that have come upon the earth. All right, that have come into rulership. All right, so these gods are just still, and they're still here today. That's why we still got Easter, which is Ishtar. All right, and where do you think those eggs come from? All right, those eggs are, what does it say? Female deity, right? It said a principal female deity of the Phoenicians worshipped in war and fertility. All right, you know, rabbits have sex like crazy. You know, there's a saying, you know, effing like rabbits. All right, humping like rabbits. And you put rabbits together, they multiply. All right, a male and a female, you gotta, if you put them together, they start having babies, man. Okay, so that's where them eggs come from, and the bunnies. All right, the goddess of fertility. So it just shows you that these gods are still here today. And Chemosh was what? The god of what? Mars. Hold on. Chemosh. All right, the national deity of the Moabites and god of the Ammonites, also identified with Baal Peor, Baal Zebub, Mars and Saturn. Okay, the god Mars and Saturn worship of this god was introduced into Jerusalem by Solomon. So this is all talked about right here in this archaeology, the dictionary of archaeology, the biblical dictionary of archaeology, Salakia. Okay, let's continue. I got to keep putting Shamash back into the search of the uh, the search of this blue letter. So let me go to Jeremiah 48 and verse 7. Okay. All right. And if you read Jeremiah 48, it says what? Prophecy against Moab. Against Moab, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel. Woe unto Nebo. Okay. Let's look up Nebo. I don't know these words. This is all through the Spirit, Akim. You know, I'm going through this and edifying, Lord willing, you and myself. Nebo, a prophet. It says prophet, a Babylonian deity who presided over learning and letters, corresponds to Greek Hermes, Latin Mercury, and the Egyptian Thoth. Okay, a city in Moab, and at one time assigned to Reuben, probably located on or near Mount Nebo, a city in Judah, maybe Benjamin. So the point I wanted to bring out was worshipped. Okay, Nebo, the planet Mercury, worshipped as the celestial scribe by the Chaldeans and the ancient Arabians. All right, the etymology of the names does not ill accord the office of Mercury, namely for the interpreter of the gods, the declarer of the will of their will from the root. As to worship of Mercury by the Chaldeans and Assyrians, we find it attested by the proper names which have this name at the beginning: Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar, see a little below. All right, a mountain in the borders of Moab. So this is also a deity. Okay, this is also a deity, Mercury. All right, and who worship Mercury? Let's look it up. The god Mercury. All right, Mercury. All right, Roman religion and mythology, being one of the 12 constants within the ancient Roman pantheon. He is the god of financial gain, commerce, equivalence, messages, communication, including divination, travelers, boundaries, luck, trickery, and thieves. He also serves as the guide of souls to the underworld and messenger of the gods. Okay? You know, Esau always got to put his little weird ass female like features onto everything. Got him looking like a, homosexual. Okay? You see? So this is another account of the Bible revealing that these nations worshiped many deities. All right? And Israel always had what? One God. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And we played the harlot. We went off and started worshiping these gods just like these heathens. Okay? So let's go back. All right. Put Chemosh back in there. Oh, okay. So I'm back. I'm selecting. I'm back right here. Let me close that. All right. All right. Woe unto Nebo, for it is spoiled. Kiriathaim is confounded, and Misgab is confounded and dismayed. Misgab and let's look it up. Let's see what those are. Carithium, 2 cities. All right, 2 cities. Carithium, a city, a town. Wow, it's a lot there. But used almost exclusively in poetry. Proper names are of 2 towns: Karith, Yath, Arba. All right. So it's 2 cities, palm trees, a town of the Moabites. All right. So when we see confounded, confounded and dismayed, that means destroyed and humiliated. There shall no more praise of Moab in Heshbon. They have devised evil against it. Come, and let us cut it off from being a nation. Also thou shalt cut down, O madman, the sword shall pursue thee. All right, a voice of crying shall be from Horonaim, spoiling and great destruction. Moab is destroyed, her little ones have caused a cry to be heard. For in the going up of Lulith, let's look up that city, what that word means right there. Lulith. Tablets, a town of Moab, south of the Arnon River. All right, and if I look these places up, you're going to find these places, man. Arnon. Let's look it up. I'm trying to see if I can find Arnon in here. No, it's not in here. All right. But anyways, just wanted to check. So like I said, this is all through the Spirit, you know, just going through these things, looking and being, you know, being curious. Let the Spirit guide me, you know, lead you through to find out little tidbits and nuggets of information that prove that the Bible and secular history are true, and that the Bible is a history book of the planet, of the world, and of the nations. All right. And that's what you see. Okay. For in the going up of Lilith, continual weeping shall go up. For in the going down of Horonam, the enemies have heard a cry of destruction. Flee, save your lives, and be like the heath in the wilderness. For because thou hast trusted in thy works and in thy treasures, thou shalt also be taken. And Chemosh shall go forth into captivity with all his priests and his princes together. Okay, so just to show you that, you know, these things really existed. All right, and that they correlate with the scriptures. All right, so let's get some more, and then we close out. You know. Okay. You know, so let me get this right quick. You know, and this is what the men of the Lord do and prophesy unto these nations, that they're going to be destroyed. You know, that their gods are going to be taken down. All right, that all gods are going to be removed. Okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 48 and verse 13. And Moab shall be ashamed of Chemosh, as the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel. Their confidence. How say ye, we are mighty and strong men for war? And Moab is spoiled and gone up out of her cities, and his chosen young men are gone down to the slaughter, saith the King, whose name is Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his afflictions hasteth fast. All ye that are about him bemoan him, and all ye that know his name say, how is the strong staff broken, the beautiful rod? You see, so, you know, Moab has grown into a huge nation right now. You know, Moab, the Chinese, that land is huge. All right, they have an insane amount of people. All right, let's see the population of China. Population of China. $1.412 billion, and that was in 2021. 1,412 billion people. All right. In 2023, India overtook China, India being Elamites, as the country with the largest population in the world. With more than 1.43 billion people, China now has the second largest population in the world with just above 1.4 billion inhabitants. All right. And that nation is going to go down. That nation is, who said there's going to be a playground for it? I think Yama Allah said that. It's going to be a playground for his nation, for his people, for our nation, for his children to go see, you know. But I say all of that to say this, you know, through the studying of the Bible, you understand the history of the planet, and being guided by the Spirit, you reveal things to show that what we read and what we believe in is very true. It is not a fairy tale. It is not a lie. It is not found to be farce. All right. So if Chemosh and these gods and these deities are worshipped, and Ammon and Moab are actually written about, the Chinese and the Japanese in the scriptures and in Esau's history books, what about Israel? All right. What about Israel? Israel being the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, what's going to happen for them? All right. The promises, Yahweh coming back and saving them. These things are all written about right here in the Holy Bible. All right, in the history book of the planet, of the nations. Okay, so with that, again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Arakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect 144,000 men pushing the truth to whole heart and sincerity across the four winds. It's the Agakwab through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. The Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Until next time, Shalom.